What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, reviewing the GOAT Dish Soap. I thought, we've done enough Wage and Iverson VOD reviews, and Dish Soap is kind of going Wage and Iverson mode himself. I'm going to cover up this ad because I am not sponsored by that company, but I mean, I'm not going to do it the entire time. But look at that, 2.8 AVP, really, really nice. Just absolutely smurfing on it. So I thought, yeah, let's watch some Dish Soap. And this game, I took a little bit of a peek at what ends up happening, and it's a really interesting line. It's just an interesting game in general, so I'm excited to watch this one. Start off here with, I don't know, a little bit of everything, actually. We have the Ezreal 2 plus the Syndra. We also now randomly have the Zac 2, so we could end up playing this opener that's not really an opener, which is like heavyweight prodigies. Yeah, there's no real, like, inbuilt synergy in there, but I mean, we could do it. I guess if you get to like Malzahar, that would be really cool, but that's probably not going to happen. And yeah, he's going to hold on to as much as he can here. He sells the Vi. He's trying to figure out if he should hold on to the Vi or not, because there's not actually that much to hold here, but I mean, never feels wrong to hold a Gnar these days, and so he tries to buy everything. He actually doesn't buy the Ken in time, but all right. First augment here, and the thing to point out is this is the portal where augments have been moved earlier, so we have an augmented 2-1 and an augmented 2-2. This means a few things. It means that you can play really econ augment heavy and do kind of like fast 9 things. We've seen, the fast 9 comps do so well this patch. If you get, econ augment 2-1 into econ augment 2-2, that very often is enough to just catapult you to being able to play like a Varus comp. So that's something that you can do. My cat is doing something behind me, but I think it's going to be okay for now. I mean, I don't think it's going to be Golden Guillotine. Double Trouble is interesting, plays into like the Zyricon line, but I don't think really have any of those units, so I don't think we can take either of those. We insta-roll them. Say Sunfire Board, aim for the top Mace's Will. I mean, Mace's Will is okay. You could make a Guard Breaker here, and it wouldn't be the end of the world. And we do have upgrades, so we could potentially maybe streak with it. Aim for the top. I mean, they did actually, they buffed it, right? So now it gives you... Let me see. Yeah, it's every 3 wins get a component. I did when I was reading this. I feel like it sounded like a quite big buff. So I wouldn't be that shocked about it, though. I thought it doesn't give you a component at the start. No, it's just every 3 wins getting a component. That's how it works. Yeah. So if you're confident you can streak, I mean, aim for the top here and win streak. He just wants to take the Mace's Will. Yeah, he's shaking his head. He's like, nah, I'm not gonna play that stand alone. And then we just need to move to actually have him stand alone. And I feel like ideally we would have leveled up here for the Syndra here, but we're actually just gonna chill on this board and sit here, rotate into the cannon here with the solo leveling, which probably means we're not going to be able to beat this. Yeah, our board just does not do enough damage, and the cannon is actually kind of huge with that power up. So gonna take our first loss here, which I guess good thing we didn't take aim for the top and then rotate into this guy, immediately lose. All right, second augment, Caretakers, hard commit, Prismatic Destiny. I mean, I think Caretakers is a fantastic augment. You never feel too bad about a Pris Destiny as like your first augment. This augment has given us a little bit of direction. I mean, we want to play some comp that uses crit. Something like a Rise would be quite solid, but almost any comp can use crit. So I don't think you would feel too bad about just picking up Prismatic Destiny here. I mean, it's plus 5 gold, and 5 gold early is really good. So we do pick it up here. Ooh, okay. Quality over quantity. It's not great, all things considered. Imagine this means that we are just going to make the Sunfire Slam here, because Radiant Aura items, Radiant support items tend to just be good. But yeah, it's actually a little bit dicey, because you really like quality over quantity when you have a high component opener. And this was only a 2-component opener. Now you have a little bit of upside in that you took an extra component off of your Mace's Will, but yeah, in general, this doesn't feel like the world's best quality over quantity spot. And I mean, this is the slight downside to taking Prismatic Destiny here. Really just hoping to hit some of our upgraded units, though. We do hit Dr. Mundo here, which, we have the Mundo Gnar setup that is so common. It'll be interesting to see what we actually opt to play this game, because we have this kind of like Juggernaut, heavyweight Juggernaut opener with snipers. Oftentimes you're ideally playing then Ashe, but Ashe seems quite impossible to play from here. It's not a quality over quantity comp, and it's also, we just do not have the items for it whatsoever. Sell Syndra here, surely, right? I'm surprised he doesn't even care about holding the Dr. Mundo here. He'd rather hold on to the Soul Fighters, which is interesting enough, which I think maybe starts to give a kind of idea of like what we want to play this game. So the way that I think people think about, and yeah, we're gonna take this sword here for IE. So I think really we're leaning towards a vertical line here, potentially soul fighters, which I think is really cool. I think a lot of people, don't know exactly how to think about quality over quantity. Like what comps is it good in, what comps is it bad in. Generally, one in a comp with a lot of spread out power. The kind of prototypical example of it in this set is Star Guardians. Star Guardians is a comp where every single unit gets buffed up, so it feels really, really good to each of them get a Radiant item onto them. This is why it was really good in stuff like Anima Squad that was the last set, right? That wasn't multiple sets ago. I think that was the last set. Anima Squad was another set, a comp where a lot of the power of that comp was just in the weapons, the Gatling Bunny Gun and stuff like that. And so it felt totally fine to, have all these units where each of them were kind of like equivalent pieces of the comp. It's really bad in a comp where all of your power is concentrated in a few units. Obviously, like Ashe, like I said, Ashe is a 2-unit comp. You have Ashe in that comp and you have Udyr in that comp. So I'm really excited to throw, a Radiant item onto a Kaisa 2 that hasn't stacked the whole game. Probably not. So that's why I think people usually think of it as Star Guardian, but I think Dishsoap has this really cool idea here that it could actually be a Soul Fighter angle because, once again, this is another one of these like huge vertical lines where all of your units you actually do get a lot of power into. And so there actually might be a lot of value in, playing around vertical Soul Fighter from quality over quantity. I think it's such a cool idea here. There's also the possibility of hitting socialite, and I think this is what we're preparing for here. He's literally considering selling this Zac here to potentially move power up and then be able to look for socialite onto the Xin Zhao, which is definitely something you could look at here. So Item Grab Bag gives you a prismatic item, so you probably have to take this here. Oh, and he gets LW. Why does he look so upset about that? I guess it's kind of awkward to itemize like who is going to take the LW for now, but it feels like it should be really, really good here. We're gonna make the Radiant Gargoyle here, gonna put the Radiant Sunfire down. I guess you're LWing a Fury, right? Yeah, why not? I don't know. I feel like I'd be pretty excited to get a Radiant LW, but he seems like sad about that. I'd much prefer that than some even Radiant AP items. Obviously, like the Lux can hold them for now, and then eventually you can hold them onto Gwen with a Radiant AP item is gonna be fantastic. So especially something like a Void Staff would be Morello, but we do have the Sunfire made already, so don't care too much about that. I hovered over here for last augment, but there is no last augment because we've already seen all our augments. And we also have 6 Soul Fighter at this point. So I think if there was any direction into the comp, it is really directed right now. I guess you just take round 2, right? Round 2 should be quite solid. He was, I would say, digging for that socialite. Like I said, socialite, it's just broken. They are actually this is just one where it's just such a strong power up that any single chance you can get to dig for it, you can. And yeah, he's actually looking here to see does the value go up as you increase stage. You can't get it too late in the game. Yeah, once you hit stage 5, you can no longer get socialite. So try to get it before then if you're going to dig for it. It's interesting. He does have power up removers, but I think he just wants to be kind of greedy with those and say, well, I don't necessarily want to burn them all digging for socialite this stage, but I'm kind of surprised he doesn't. The big thing is that round 2 is fantastic. You get a dummy with a Radiant Sunfire on it. So it's hard to pass up round 2 is I think the reason why we have not actually rerolled and looked for socialite, just because, can you turn down a dummy with a Radiant Sunfire? I don't think that you can. So yeah. But yeah, 91 HP 6 streak here. You can already see the power of, the vertical Soul Fighter, the power up sponsored by Dishsoap. Just a little cut of the sponsorship revenue. All I ask, just a casual 10% for. Yeah. All right. We're gonna take the rod here onto Callista. I guess it can just be JG, right? And that's gonna be our Gwen item later. And you can throw this onto Lux for now, or even Viego. Something draws me to putting it onto Lux, but we'll see actually where he wants to put it onto Lux. Okay. The vibes is what matters most of all. Viego is a unit. Lux is a pure damage unit. Viego is a unit where he's melee. He's going to take some damage. And so you probably throw it onto the unit that's just pure backline damage. I don't know. Makes enough sense to me. But we are going to continue on with this board where we already have a ton of items. It is kind of funny. Item augments are really good with quality over quantity because, we're at 5 Radiant items right now, which is just fantastic. The later you get into the game, the more of a chance there is for you to just kind of have too many items, and then you have to start looking at like 3-iteming a unit, you know, or just having items sit on your bench for a little while, which is so awkward. So we'll see where that ends up going. It's kind of funny here. Yeah, we go for the unflinching here onto Neferi. I was gonna say, like, you know, normally you're looking for like socialite plus a damage power up, so you'd love to power up Set, but I don't think you really want to because of that idea of like, we really want to find socialite. And then it's like socialite power up, Samira power up, right? It can't really be socialite plus Set power up because then we're just going to be like too low damage, right? Socialite is, I mean, it's tankiness, it's damage, it's everything, man. This power up is so cool. But yeah, he is going to open Cell there to, I mean, I think this is just to save the power remover here, and he's going to team planner out the board. Usually, yeah, you're just playing around Volibear. He's also throwing Shen into the planner as a nice extra unit to play, so we'll see. We hit Braum as like the kind of ideal hit. I mean, that is Void Staff more mugs, so we will... I mean, that seems good enough here. We do find the socialite, which is big, and just going to hold the line for one more round here. Yeah, the itemization is going to get a little bit awkward. I mean, I think this is totally fine. Yeah, you just put the Void Staff onto Viego for now, leave the JG onto Lux, and then the Viego item moves very naturally over to the Gwen later. Yeah, I mean, I actually think this is totally fine. So the items work out, and he slams the Sunfire. I like the Sunfire a lot on the Xin Zhao with Socialite, because that unit, he's always going to be among other units, so that's going to give him a very good chance of, you know, the Sunfire tanking for him. But yep, let's level, roll, pick up a Samira immediately, find another Neferi, which allows us to move items easily. Gwen... Oh, well, you know, sometimes being really good means you just high roll. That's being good in TFT sometimes. Well, this means Void Staff's going to move over. We get the Warmugs here. I mean, it must be IE Samira, right? And then, yeah, the LW is just going to sit on Callista, and we are going to go for the power up. He threw it onto Gwen there and just takes unflinching because, yeah, I mean, 1-star Gwen, 1-star Samira, you feel really good about that. You know, the one thing I will say here, this does open the door to a prismatic Soul Fighter win out, right? I mean... We got Soul Fighter in so early, and yeah, we're just going to roll it to 0 here to look for upgrades. I mean, this is the strongest we are going to be the entire game here, so rolling very deep, it makes a lot of sense here. He's going to move Soul Fighter, or the socialite over there, but not actually going to move the whole board over there just because he likes being on the left side here. So yeah, this makes sense. And the board, I mean, we're just going to be clearing people this stage. Oh my god, this might be the world's easiest 10 or prismatic soul fighter, because I mean, that's already 2 dubs there. So 20% of the way there. I feel like I haven't seen Pris Soul Fighter in so long. Okay, item-wise here, we do still have to focus on, like, what is our last item going to be? We have basically everybody itemized except for Viego here. What do we want on to Viego? I mean, I guess it could be a cloak, a tier? Something's drawing me to cloak here. I don't know what it is. BT? Ugh. I mean, maybe. I don't really know what else. You have Void Staff and LW and Sunfire already, so you don't really need to go for, like, a Spark or anything like that. I guess it would just be BT. I mean, we hit Shenjiaotsu, which is a decent upgrade. I mean, the thing about Dishsoap Spot is, as long as we win fights, like, winning fights here is so important, because as long as we can win some fights, we can potentially get to that prismatic. Though I guess you do run the risk of overrolling this stage to try to stabilize, get those wins with Soul Fighter, and then losing every fight stage 5 and 6, and not being able to make it there. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, it is also just a world where we have 2, you know, 4 costs. You know, we've already hit Set, but we are Samira paired here. So, you know, hitting a Samira 2 is very big in a spot like this. He's going to do the middle positioning here just to kind of give him full reign over the backline. He can put these units wherever. Looking good. Oh my god, the Yasuo, oh my god, that was kind of really scary for a second there, but our board just ends up kind of clearing this anyway, and so that is going to be the 5 streak this stage. My god. Dude, look at this lobby HP, by the way. 2 people are dead already at 4-6. This lobby has been so aggressive just because Dishsoap, 91 HP clearing people. Dishsoap and Dishsoap actually at the top here together, just clearing the lobby, and then everybody else is having... I mean, Jason Java also 64 HP. Like, these top 3 have really just kind of siphoned away all the HP for the lobby. I mean, Dishsoap at this point, he just has to focus on, I mean, getting the last few wins and then capping high enough. I mean, we hit this here. We can... Okay, so he wasn't interested in BT or anything like that, interestingly enough. I mean, what is he looking at? I mean, you could go for triple item Samira here. I guess the rod's kind of awkward if you want to do that. I almost would look at reforging the rod and then go for something out of that. But he is just going to make the Gwynsu's Rageblade and makes the Deathblade onto Samira. Interesting. I think a lot of people tend to not go 2-item units in this setup. You know, they usually say, I would rather have a Radiant IE than DB plus IE. I know that it's kind of radiant item by radiant item. Like I feel like there are some that have really, really strong effects. But this is a situation where he's evaluating radiant IE and saying plus Deathblade is actually better. Which I mean I could certainly see it. I remember doing some of the ooh, Shadow Clone. Did he get it down in time? He did, just barely. I do know. I was looking at some of these like really early into the set and trying to figure out like is it actually better? And I think the answer is like sometimes yes to just have a straight up radiant item, but not every time. But all right, that is our 7th win here in a row with this board and 15 streak, by the way. Just going to super aggro level for the Shen here because once again, I mean, if we win fights, we hit prismatic and we win the game. So it makes a lot of sense. Every single win that we can get is huge here, and we will see what happens. Rotate into this guy, Jinx Volibear, by the way, Bastion Volibear as well. Kind of a crazy setup here. And question is, can we get through the Volibear? And the answer is yes, easily. So that's our 8th win. It does count wins against clones, right? It should, because that was just a win against a clone. I just remember when Warpath didn't work against clones, and I had a game where I was like 1 win off, and then I fought somebody with Warpath, just barely won, and I was like, yes, I made it. I can't believe I made it. And then it didn't cash out, and I was like, why didn't it cash out? And I'm like, oh, I fought clone, and it didn't cash out because it was against a clone. So hopefully the same thing doesn't exist here for the Soul Fighter Prismatic. I don't think it does. If it doesn't, then we are 2 wins off here, though this is going to be the stage where it's going to actually be kind of hard to win these fights. And like this game is not over is the crazy part. Like if we kill everyone else off and these last few boards are really strong, there is a world here where we just don't actually cash Prismatic, though this win would be really big. Oh my God. Wait, that's so sad. Dishsoap is just giving a little smile, but I mean, has to be devastated there because we just lost. Oh my God, we just lost one of the fights that, I mean, that could be the fight diff between, us getting to Prismatic or not, because, once you get this late into the game, oh, and he opts to, oh, wow. Opts to take off Shadow Clone here, which I thought was a pretty good power up here, and goes for Crimson Veil just to keep Samira alive. I'm pretty surprised by this, but I guess he is acknowledging the fact that, like, in a lot of these fights, triple damage Samira, like, she kind of needs it, and hey, that's a win there. That's our 9th win. Very big. So we just need to get one more for 10 Soul Fighter. Oh, or I keep only at 10 Soul Fighter because it's 10 wins, but for the Soul Fighter Prismatic. Also, shout out to Riot Games for these new Prismatics. Like, aren't these way more fun than old Prismatics? I feel like they actually just like solved it with this this Prismatic change. It was actually genius mode. All right, we're gonna roll down here because we do still have Gwen 2 to find. You can, I mean, I guess look at Braum, but I think the Shen should just be better here. Going to move Guard Breaker here over onto the Samira, and then this just allows us to move Sterak's up to Shen. So I like it. Moves the Socialite down. Is that actually, I think we missed Socialite on a decent amount of units there, but this looks like pretty good fighter NG for us. Samira onto the back line, and that's it, right? That should be 10 wins for Soul Fighter unless they changed it. Why is it not lighting up Prismatic? They didn't increase it to... Does it not count? It must not count wins against clone then if it doesn't cash there, because I mean that's 10 wins. Maybe it doesn't count wins versus clone, so we need one more win. Oh my God. All right, well, I mean, this is another clone though, so does this not count as well? I mean, I guess we'll see what happens if we win. I'm learning about around Prismatic Soul Fighter. I mean, I think I hit this once on... Did I hit this on like PBE or something? I've hit the Prismatic Star Guardian and Prismatic Battle Academia, but I don't think I've actually hit Prismatic Soul Fighter on live. All right, looking for just Biss power up on Samira, which for him is, I mean, I don't actually know what he wants so badly here. I mean, Attack Expert seems quite good with all the extra AD that we have onto her. I mean, we don't need obviously something like a Bludgeoner. Ooh, this board feels like Crimson Veil might be... I mean, you do need a lot of damage, though, honestly. And I don't know, he looks so strong. I wonder if we can even win this fight. Samira gets a good cast off. Oh my God, it's so close. Can she do... Oh my God. She actually gets it there. That was real, right? So that is surely... And they literally FF the game because we're going to be Prismatic Soul Fighter. Oh, well, I wish we got to see it in action, man. But I mean, such a cool game from Dishsoap. A little bit high roll on the line, but I mean, I just really love the quality over quantity into Soul Fighter line. It's not something you see every day, and it worked really well. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check my Twitch for Medify. All my links down below, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks always for watching. Bye.